Hello and welcome back to this commentary for the JoJo Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind episode number 13. I apologize. I'm recording these really late. This episode came out several days ago, but it's Christmas and New Year's has really gotten me behind, so I'm doing these as I've got time. So I'm sorry. All right, basically it leads off where we was at last time. Illuso and his stand. He's brought Fugo into his dimension. He's kind of got him, kind of almost mocking him, like, hey, you're in my world, there's nothing you can do. Fugo is basically separated from his stand. And then we eventually see, finally we see Abbacchio tries to retrieve the key, and he also falls prey to Illuso's, being sucked into the mirror. So we believe, he kind of turns the tables, he realizes, hey, you're trying to suck me in the mirror, so fine, I'll just destroy the mirror. And I thought that was awesome. Unfortunately, when he shattered it, it kind of helped out the enemy because, but still, he kind of, he's a tough cookie. He can really, he's not easy to take down, but eventually, I just like how he's kind of cocky. I guess that's because he's a cop. He's kind of no situation really bothers him. He's always, he's not really a planner. He's just strong-headed. He just goes in charging, and he just kind of works with what he's got. And sometimes it works. Unfortunately, he gets to a point where he realizes, that cockiness kind of and headstrongness kind of usually backfires on him. And unfortunately, it has in this episode, as we see Illuso eventually turns the tables on him and has his arm, and he's kind of pulling him in. Half of his stand and half of his him, because the way his stand works, I guess he could kind of bring his stand over. I really wasn't clear on. Yeah, he could kind of bring his stand in and then bring half of him in, something along those lines. But eventually, he decides to just lop off his hand, which even the Illuso is like, whoa, dude, like, you're hardcore. You're crazy. But yeah, he's just that, he's hard-headed. He's determined. No matter what, I'm going to, do whatever it takes. And I kind of admire that about him. But, dude, you chopped off your hand. Yeah, basically, it kind of works. And as we see, it is also a plan. And, I love the part where the key is literally floating away from Illuso. It's just like do. That was actually pretty good, and more or less he taunts Illuso, and he says, "Look, you can kill me or you can get the key." And sure enough, it works because he goes taking off after the key because that's the main thing he's after, and that gives Abbacchio time to kind of hopefully he's thinking into himself like, all right, Giorno is basically going to get the key and take off, and we're going to win. But as we see Illuso comes back and kind of taunts him like, ha ha ha, and like he's like, what are you laughing at? And like he shows him in the mirror, like Giorno is just standing there, just holding the key, like, what the hell is this doing here? And he's like cussing him under his breath, like, why? All you had to do was run. He's like so pissed off. And then sure enough, he sucks Giorno into his world, and unfortunately, Giorno is a planner, and he, of course, has a plan, and as it turns out, it's a pretty cool plan, but a kind of disturbing plan. He infects himself with Purple Haze, disease, so basically he's infected, but he brought it with him, and infected Illuso too, because he's freaked out, like, you brought a disease in here, like, I'm infected, and it's already showing all over both of them, it's all, they're warty, and, they're all diseased looking, and sure enough, it's killing them. Well, eventually Illuso, seeing what Abbacchio had done, he's like, you know what, I'm just going to sacrifice a limb, I'm going to live, I'll just go without, my hand, but I'm going to, sacrifice my hand and, take the key and go. But it kind of backfires on him because, of course, Giorno obviously has a plan. And I love the part where he has a snake. He turned a snake in, one of the bricks into a snake. and it's kind of using it to track him. And he's telling Fugo this, and sure enough, Fugo uses his stand, and wherever he goes, the snake follows him, so they know where he's at, even though he's on the other side of the mirror or whatever. And sure enough, his stand, Purple Haze, makes short work of him. He captures him. He's got him pinned down, and he's totally infected. There's nowhere he can go. He's done for. I love that scene. And it's slowly. He tries to fight back with his stand, his mirror stand, but it's game over. Purple Haze, I'll give him credit. He tried to fight back, but there's no way. I mean, he tries to keep the little knuckle thing, but unfortunately, what you don't understand is, and I didn't really know this, that he can kind of throw it, and he kind of throws it against the wall, and it breaks, and he's eat up. He's just literally just rotting. Like, ugh. It was kind of cool and kind of disturbing at the same time. Like, ugh. But sure enough, that brings us to, Fugo's like, wow, that's like hardcore, dude. You did some like major planning. That was pretty good, and Giorno's like, what? That's the only way we could figure out how to beat him. That's the only way we could win. And sure enough, it worked, and that's the only way, I guess if you have a power like that, where you can stop people in mirrors and separate them from their stand, and I guess it was pretty good. But then again, so what? He sucked you in the mirror. Let's go beat the crap out of him. I mean, these guys like can't even. Well, it seems like Fugo tried to fight, but then he had, I think he injured him somehow. Oh yeah, his stand injured him. I done forgot because he has his stand over there. Okay, that makes sense. I was trying to rationalize. I was trying to figure out how he, once they brought him over, why didn't they still beat him up? But that's, yeah. Most of the time, he always had a trick, and he was like, or using a stand and injured him. Anywho, and I love the fact when like Fugo's like, dude, you're gonna die. Like everybody dies when they get exposed to Purple Haze, and he's like, oh no, calm down. He comes up with a plan. It's kind of excellent that the Purple Haze has infected a brick, which the snake was made of. So therefore, he can kind of make an antibody or like an anti-venom type thing to inject himself with, and he kind of uses his stand and eventually does that, and it works. But it kind of painful because like he's sitting there like in pain, like he's like he just got injected with like salt in his veins or something. He's just like it's like he's all over the place. But then again, I guess it's like his body's fighting it, and trying to deal with that. His body's went through a lot, so yeah, I guess, it makes sense. I'm actually glad they did it that way. Instead of like, whoop, I got the cure, like, I'm good, and just goes hopping around, like, let's go get the bad guys. Like some of the animes do. But I thought that was kind of realistic how they did that. But, and Fugo also has a, newfound respect for Giorno. He's like, not only was he impressed by his planning, but he was also, just his whole candor, his whole, he's like, wow, this guy has earned my trust. And I thought that was pretty cool, too. And even we hear the conversation as they're talking that also Abbachio has a newfound, he's like, I'm just going to bust a cap into that dude, for doing that stupid plan, But after hearing all the things he went through and then what he did, and like, even he is impressed, and he is clearly not one of Giorno's, biggest fan, so I thought that was also pretty cool. But although it's kind of weird, he's sitting there like hemorrhaging, like, and even Giorno, even what's even better is he says, "Go see about Abbachio," like I'm okay, like go see about him. He needs help. But sure enough, he does because he's missing a hand, and I don't know how they're going to fix that. Hopefully, one of the stand users can attach a hand or heal or something, because otherwise, wow, he's going to be. He's going to be like Rick Grimes in the Walking Dead comics. He's going to be like wearing a hook or like a fake hand or something, or like a nub. Anyway, that's all for this episode. And, looking forward to Golden Wind episode number 14. However, for what I've read at the time of recording this, that they say there might be a slight delay in episode 14. So I don't know when that's going to come out. So, I'll have a commentary on it when it comes out. Anyway, that's all for now. Catch you next time. And by the way, Happy New Year.